Hi everyone, I'm Lunapienart, the owner of the Dusk channel, and I'm a Japanese translator. Today is Monday and chapter 1125 has just been released in Japan. The title of this chapter is What Defines Death? 何をもって死とするか? This is a topic we've touched on several times on this channel, in Don Dusk channel, and finally being addressed in the main storyline in this chapter. Several themes are intertwined, so in this video I'd like to break down one by one, and let's dive into the first theme, this page. You can see here the panel where Luchi and Kaku here. Stussy 様は Where's Stussy 様? What about her? And Luchi responds, 殺した I killed her. But did Luchi really kill Stussy? I believe Kaku actually let Stussy escape. Here how I see it going down. Kaku let Stussy get away and lied to Luchi, telling him, I killed her. Yeah, Kaku said this. I think Kaku said like this. Kaku, like Usopp from the Straw Hats, have a Pinocchio nose, so it kind of fits that his lie. Luchi probably sensed from Kaku's expression that she was actually let go, but decided to accept it. I think that's why at the beginning of this chapter, Luchi passed on Kaku's false report to the rest of the Cypher Pole members without questioning it. 2 years ago, Luchi was portrayed as a ruthless man. Yeah. But after the escape from the former CP9 members and his return to CP0, he's changed a bit. That's why he even asked Mars to spare Kaku's life. So I think Luchi might just accept a lie from his partner, Kaku. That's why I don't think Stussy was killed by Kaku or Luchi. Okay, next we have to see the page of Garing. Changing the page here. Garing said, 今しがた命を受けてな. I've just received my orders. And Peter responds, 言葉遣いが妙だな, Garing. Your choice of words is strange, Garing. Yes, as Peter pointed out, Garing's tone sounds like he's talking to someone in equal footing. The subject is hidden, but it's almost certain that it was Imu who gave him his order. I recently heard on theory about the scene where Shanks appeared at Marijoa. Do you remember? Yeah, the theory suggests that it wasn't the pirate Shanks, not actually Shanks, who appeared at Marijoa, but rather his twin brother. The main reason for this theory, Shanks usually doesn't speak in formal language. However, just as we see with Garing's change in tone, in Japan, it's normal for speech patterns to shift based on person's position, not just their personality, especially with someone like Shanks who understands his place yeah, and acts accordingly. It wouldn't be strange at all for him to use formal language when addressing the Gorosei from a Japanese native speaker perspective. In fact, if Shanks had spoken in his unusual casual tone, it's likely the Gorosei, just like Peter here, would have pointed out, and conversation wouldn't have gone smoothly. Yeah, like with Garing. By the way, Peter and Mars seems to be in lower position compared to Nasujiro and Walkyrie, Topman Walkyrie. That's why it's interesting to see Peter being bothered by Garing's attitude and Garing's tone. In human society, relationships tend to like deteriorate when there's only small gap in rank, while larger gaps don't create much tension. It feels like we are watching a bit of human drama unfold here at Marijoa. Okay, now, now let's see. I'm sorry, it's too big, but Garing I'm sorry, this scene. Okay, we have to see this scene. Garing said, 世界は荒れるぞ。かつてないほどの乱世になるだろう。共に世界を良くしよう。同性たちよ。The world is about to descend into chaos. We are heading for an era of unprecedented, I don't know in English, unprecedented disorder. I'm sorry if I pronounced worse. Let's work together to make the world a better place. My same stars. My same stars. It's the term dousei. Literally means same star. This suggests that star refers to title or position. These 5 individuals are represented as forming a single star, which is known in Japanese as gobousei. Yeah, like the single star, 5-pointed star, it's pronounced gobousei. It's likely that their collective title, Gorosei, 5 elders, also stems from this concept, Gobousei or Gorosei. Now that Garing has been inaugurated as new member of 5 elders, this means the newly formed Knights of Gods will also get a new Supreme Commander because Garing left. I believe this silhouette, I have to go back here, this silhouette with with a katana, yeah, I think this is next Supreme Commander of the Knights of God. I think this silhouette figure, see, yeah, will be the one to take that vacant seat. In chapter 1121, we were shown some key figures for the upcoming battle, 20 characters, but something felt off. Specifically, Garing here, I'm sorry, I have to change the, you can see here, okay, more a bit, okay, perfect. Okay, Garing was depicted in the lower left section of the panel. Typically, the individuals placed in the section are the top figures of their respective organization. Because Kobe, Kuzan, Sabo is not the head of the organization. Let me explain. The 4 emperors are shown at the top, and with exception of the silhouette figure, the people in the lower right section are mostly head of their organizations. Sakazuki leads the navy, Dragon leads the revolutionary army, and Imu leads the world government. Yeah, In the lower left, we see some important figures who are not head of their organizations. Kobe is a just Navy captain, in Japanese, Taisa, and Sabo is the Revolutionary Army's chief, and Kuzan is the captain at the 10th ship in the Blackbeard fleet. Now that Garing has become one of the 5 elders, he has moved under Im's direct command, making him fit better in this section. Yeah, lower left position. It's perfect for me. If the silhouetted figure turns out to be a successor to the Knights of God, then everyone in the lower right section will be leaders of their respective organizations. That's why I think this person will be take over as the commander of the Knights of God. Yeah, it's probably the twin of Shanks. Next, mystery behind Saturn death. Yeah, this topic is more one that we have to discuss. As I mentioned in Dawn Dusk video, the fact that Garing was appointed as one of the new 5 elders suggests that he was originally human, but later gained immortality through Im's powers. You can get sense of this from seen in the latest chapter. This scene. Yeah. Saturn claims to have seen the Iron Giant in person 200 years ago, implying he has lived for at least 200 years. I believe Imu must have lifted that power in this scene. I have to see this scene. Probably your favorite scene. I'm sorry. It's not okay. This scene. Okay, perfect. Okay, I believe this scene. I believe Imu must have lifted that power in this scene, which caused Saturn to rapidly age at once, accumulating the 200 years of aging he should have experienced, because he already experienced at least from 200 years ago, where he watched Iron Giants. Okay. While there are still many mysteries surrounding Im's powers, it's clear that he has lived for over 800 years, as he is familiar with Joy Boy and Lily. This means he likely achieved immortality, either through the immortality surgery of the Ope Ope no Mi, or through some other unknown power. From the way Saturn begged Imu for mercy before his death, it seems Imu has the ability to grant or revoke immortality from the 5 elders at will. Yeah, now let's take a moment to talk about Saturn's explosion. Here, Saturn's explosion here. I'm sorry, here. It's very strange. Why did he explode exactly? I think this is the result of having eaten 2 devil fruits. Do you remember? If you eat more than 2 devil fruits, just explodes. Saturn was able to heal all his injuries, transform into spider, and use poison, paralyze Sanji, and summon the other 5 elders with strange magic circle. These powers were probably granted to him through some means. However, After this latest feature, I believe Im tripped Saturn of his immortality, and this caused him to explode as a result of using powers that go against the law of nature. According to Vegapunk, eating a devil fruit gives you a power that opposes nature, and as punishment, you are hated by the sea, nature's mother. There's also a rumor that if you eat more than one devil fruit, your body will be torn apart, as Jabra once said. It seems that Saturn had multiple powers but was protected by his immortality given by Im. Once that protection was lifted in this chapter, the burden of having unnatural abilities became too great, leading to his body exploding. See, how do you think about it? I think this explosion is from the this effect from two more devil fruit or another powers from Im. And Im said to Saturn, Saturn, なぜジョイボーイを逃した? And Saturn said, 慈悲よ、あそこまでつかみどころのない力だとは。Saturn, why did you let Joy Boy escape? Mercy, please. I didn't realize his power would be that elusive. Yeah, I like this scene. It seems like all of the five elders share some responsibility for letting Joy Boy get away, but Saturn, who give up to chasing Luffy in Elbaf, is likely bearing the brunt of the blame here. Saturn was begging him for mercy at this point, but in the end, he was turned into nothing but bones. By the way, during this scene, Saturn utters mu, in katakana. Saturn, uttered mu, while telepathically pleading to Im for mercy. He said mu. Yes, it's written in katakana here. When you put those together, and he said jihi wo. Jihi wo means mercy. Here, he said mu, but also he said he said mu while telepathically pleading to Im for mercy, jihi wo. Do you know mu jihi? Mu jihi. Yeah, mu plus mercy, which means jihi. Mu jihi. Yeah, this is one word of Japanese. When you put that together, it coincidentally forms the word mu jihi. Mu jihi, which means merciless. Yeah, this seems to suggest that Im is indeed merciless. Yes, it's just plain words with Japanese word. Interestingly, Im's eyes and Im's eyes, do you see Im's eyes? Which are usually depicted with two concentric circles and a dot in the middle, are shown with extra in this page are shown with an extra circle this time, 3 concentric circles and a dot in the center. This might symbolize that Im's anger has reached its peak. Finally, we see Saturn's bones scattered on the floor. This likely ties into the lyrics of Binks no Sake, which say, どうせいつかは I'm sorry どうせ誰でもいつかは骨よ Everyone turns to bones eventually. This connects to the theme of the title, What Defined Death? 何をもって死とするか。 Joy Boy probably understood the fleeting nature of life. That's why he created the concept of the will of D, entrusting his will to someone else or descendant. In One Piece, there's often depiction of characters smiling at the moment of death, and this isn't limited to those who with the will of D no Ishi. Characters like Oden and Dr. Hiruruk, who passed on their will to others, also smile at the end. In contrast, Imu and Five Elders cling desperately to life, like Saturn. Imu has lived for over 800 years, and Saturn, in his final moments, was desperately begging for mercy, trying to hold on to life. That leaves us wondering, what is the person who said death is a compilation of the person? Yes, it's Kaido. Where is he? Do you know where is he, Kaido? I'm interesting. Anyway, we have to talk about the concept of death. There are some individuals who transcend the concept of death, one of them being Vegapunk and his satellites. I went into great detail about Vegapunk's concept of death in one Dusk videos. This video, one of my favorite videos. So if you have time, check it out later. The content in that video wasn't far off. As long as Vegapunk knowledge remains in punk records, he can essentially be resurrected over and over again through different bodies. It's entirely possible that even Stella could appear in some form. Yes, like satellites. However, one major question remains. Does Stella still possess the power of the Nomi brain fruit? It's almost certain that Stella has physically dead, which would normally mean the effect of that fruit would cease because he physically dead. But Punk Records still seems to be functioning. Like here. This raises two possibilities. First, that Nomi might still be active because Vegapunk's brain is technically still alive. But the second possibility is that this fruit's powers has already stopped functioning. In that case, it would seem contradictory that access to Punk Records is still possible. However, we know that Vegapunk has the technology to replicate Devil Fruit abilities. Do you remember? Like green blood. In the scene where Vegapunk's brain is shown, we don't get a clear view of the color of this liquid around it. If that liquid happens to be green, it could mean that Vegapunk's Punk Records is continuing to function by tapping into the power of the Nomi via green blood, because it's just Parmesia. I think it might be green blood. I don't know, we have to check out in the color version or anime One Piece 1 year later. And in this chapter, we see Shaka and Edison, Pythagoras and Atlas talking, but Edison's lines are not enclosed in double lines like the others. You can see here, this page. Just Edison is the single line, but others has double lines. This suggests that, like Lilith, Edison managed to disconnect himself in the time and barely survived. Afterward, he likely absorbed the consciousness of the other satellites who had died, which is why their lines are like enclosed in double lines. At this point, Vegapunk reaches out to Wedaria, revealing that Dust is actually a friend of his. This makes sense because the technology behind the Mother Flame is shown to be used in Sky Island as well. Yeah, you can even spot something that looks like flames stored in the power plant in the cover illustration, like this. I think it is used in Wedaria like prototype of Mother Flame. During a broadcast, Vegapunk metaphorically compared developing the Mother Flame to flying too close to the sun. It's pretty clear that the Mother Flame and Everlasting Flame is solar energy that Vegapunk has been seeking. The name Mother Flame literally means the mother of flames, something that continues to produce fire. As Lilith mentioned, Egghead's energy source is fire, and this energy seems to be used to power not only Egghead, but also places like Moon City and Wedaria. Yeah, I like this scene with Nami. However, it seems Vegapunk's invention, the Mother Flame is still incomplete, like he said, and like Lilith mentioned that they are being researching what to burn, implying that something is needed to keep the flame burning eternally. In the world of One Piece, there's something that could potentially produce near infinite energy. Do you remember? It's not Mother Flame. Yeah. Logia type devil fruit. Devil fruit. As long as the user has the stamina, fruits like Mera no Mi, a fire fruit of Ace and Sabo, can produce endless flames, and the Goro no Mi can generate infinite electricity from NL. However, Vegapunk hasn't been able to replicate Logia fruit, just Logia fruits. It's difficult to replicate. This suggests that the technology behind the devil fruits may hold the key to creating the flame that never goes out. There may also be connection between the technology and the Lunarians who have kept their backs consistently ablaze, and the Mink tribe who can generate electricity. Me personally, I think the missing piece for Vegapunk's Mother Flame might be tied to Nika's power, which is why he's calling the Sun God. It's not just Mother Flame, and Nika's power is important for me. I believe the reason Enies Lobby is known as the island where night never falls in that Joy Boy using Nika's power created an artificial sun there. As for the hidden meaning behind S108 in this scene, let you see, 108 is written on the Mother Flame. Here. I think it's a Japanese wordplay for White Knight, Byakuya. Yeah, it's character of Bleach, Byakuya, which means White Knight. The number 100 can be read as Hyaku or Byaku, and 8 can be read as Ya, making Byakuya, which means White Knight. So Nika's witness could symbol at eternal white night, constantly provide solar energy. Additionally, Nika might possess the ability to supply energy through a unique rhythm, which is likely why the Iron Giant was able to move. A book statement, "Music shakes the soul," was more profound than we initially thought. That said, Nika probably won't be alive 500 years from now. Yeah, it's impossible. Luffy, and I think he he's not interested in aliving 500 years like Imu. However, the satellites who will likely survive for into the future will continue to refine the mother flame in Webaria and eventually create a system that can supply unlimited energy to the world. Okay, and next move to this scene. Dragon was concerned that wars would start across the world over the remaining land. This is likely beginning of the conflict that will engulf the entire world. Yeah, we have to think about it. As more of the world into the sea, sink into the sea, habitable land becomes even scarcer. While pirates and those who have the means to live in the sky or the sea might find ways to survive, most ordinary citizens won't have those options, unfortunately. This means that places like Drum Kingdom or Dressrosa, which have elevated land, or countries like Wano with tall mountains, along with the Red Line and the four great bridges mentioned by Ivankov, will become prime battleground. The only ones who seem safe from the conflict are the Celestial Dragon living atop the Red Line. However, they've they've started facing food shortage, which was clearly depicted in this chapter. It's likely that growing food in Marijoa is difficult. When Shirahoshi asked a guard if the forests there was natural, he responded, "It was an artificial forest." Do you remember? Yeah, this is a Levelly arc. This suggests that without supplies from the lower world, the people of the Red Line would struggle to survive. As a result, even the Celestial Dragon will eventually be dragged into the fight for resource in the future. This situation mirrors the past conflict on Skypiea, where the Sky People and the Shandians fought over the resource-rich land Worth. Now, on the Blue Planet, people will once again be battling over the land as the world continues to sink. It's in the worst case. In my latest video in Dawn Dusk, I talked about the illness of country. Do you remember? If you if you don't watch it, please check it out. A thumbnail with Roger and Sakura, cherry blossoms, and Joy Boy on there. In Drum Kingdom's case, it was said that entire nation was sick due to political corruption by Wapol. But now, it's not just about the country being ill, it's the entire world falling into the sickness of fighting over land. In that case, yeah, it's about to start this illness. As a cue to this, Drum Kingdom has enough elevated land for people to take refuge. This suggests that this kingdom, Drum Kingdom, will become an important location as the world continues to sink. Yeah, Drum Kingdom could be the place that liberates people from the illness of conflict, truly becoming this name, Drum of Liberation. You can check out the video for more details. Another key location is the 4 giant bridges that Ivankov mentioned in this chapter: Tequila Wolf, Rum Wolf, Bourbon Wolf, and Vodka Wolf. Earlier this year, on Dawn Dusk channel, I released a video about Voice Century. Discover. Yes, just past 8 months, where I speculated that the 4 lines in the world governments, this means just 4 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Here, yeah, in this video, I speculated that the 4 lines in the world government symbol might represent bridges like Tequila Wolf. It seems I was a bit right. Yeah, interestingly, all of the bridges seem to have wolf, vodka wolf, tequila wolf, rum wolf, bourbon wolf. Yeah, in their name. In Skypiea, there was a creature called Cloud Wolf. Do you remember? Living in verse, and there was the first time Luffy performed the Nika dance with them. Yeah, alongside those cloud wolves. Maybe when people from around the world seek refuge on these various wolf bridges, Luffy will once again perform the Nika dance. and like spreading the influence worldwide and leading to the grand celebration involving everyone. While I do believe that worldwide party will happen, I think Luffy's ultimate dream is something different here. I know ultimate different is considered as like big party around the world. I think this is different, but I plan to talk more about once the Dawn Dusk channel grows a bit more. I hope you all continue to support this channel. Yeah. Okay, and we have to talk about Koala's statement in the final. I've already shared this on Next, but it doesn't spread much, possibly due to the algorithm. So I'll share it again here. The one who becomes Pirate King will once again gain that power. 海賊王になる者が再びその力を手に入れる。The one who becomes Pirate King will once again gain that power. So, what is that power? In Japanese, pronounced like その力を手に入れる。Gain that power. Yeah. In Japanese, pronounced like その can be vague and refer to many things. In this case, that power probably refers to the ancient weapon that Koala mentioned just before, which has the potential to sink the world into the sea. Yeah. Essentially, Koala interprets that whoever finds One Piece will also gain control over the ancient weapons. Whether Koala's interpretation is correct or not is unclear, but if it is, it would mean that after finding the One Piece, the massive world-sinking conflict would truly begin. This raises an interesting contradiction, because in an SBS column, Oda Sensei mentioned that the series, One Piece series will conclude once we learn what the One Piece is. If we think about it logically, it makes sense for the story to end once Luffy and his crew reach Laugh Tale and find the One Piece. That would be a neat conclusion. However, if finding the One Piece also grants the power to change the world, then the story wouldn't simply end there. There's a way to resolve this contradiction. Do you have any idea about that? What if someone other than the I'm sorry, someone other than the Straw Hat Pirates find the One Piece first? Personally, I believe Blackbeard will get his hands in the One Piece at some point in the future. He might use its power to try and take control of the world. Yeah, to control the world. Perhaps he'll even establish a Blackbeard's kingdom in Marijoa, or I don't know where, but because this is his dream. Eventually, Luffy will face Blackbeard, defeat him, and climb the One Piece for himself. And then we'll witness the decision Luffy makes, whether he will sink the world or create a new continent. That's how I think the story will conclude. Yeah, I have a hypothesis about this, which I plan to discuss soon in the upcoming video on Dusk, so stay tuned. By the way, I have to conclude here, but I received an interesting opinion from one of my Patreon members, and I read for you. This is from Roro. Gaia from Greek mythology. Garing is moon for sure, and the moon is now orbiting around the Imu with the other 5 elder planets. Imu and five elders represent geocentrism, as in ideology opposed to how to say helocentrism. Yeah, helocentrism, wherever Imu like Earth seems to frightened by Nika because his sun, orbiting around it. What do you think? What do you all think? I agree that there's definitely some truth to it. But personally, I believe that the 5 elders are meant to form a star together, I said, with Imu at the center. I explained this in more detail in a previous video, so I feel free to check it out. The title is Imu is Dragon. It's also interesting that Garing, who represents the shape of the moon, like he said, joined the place of Saturn. Their names, after all, are connected to the day of the week in Japan. Getsu, Ka, Sui, Moku, Kin, Do. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Saturn is Saturday. Moon is Monday. That's why changed just the place. That's it for the chapter 1125 analysis. I'll see you again for chapter 1126 analyze video. For those who aren't Patreon members, feel free to join my open chat and share your thoughts. I'll leave the link below. That's why you have to check it out. Okay, until next time. Ciao.